All right, I'd like to call the Board of Selectmen meeting to order for Tuesday, January 29th at 6:04 p.m.
You said January.
Did I? June 29th. We wish it was January. At 6:04 p.m. Could I have a roll call, please?
Joe Shank here.
Jessica Duranian present.
Veronica Cal present. Please join me for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. I'd like to announce that the meeting is being recorded and it's also live on Channel 9 and after the meeting. I would also like to note that we're test driving some new technology tonight. We have the OWL here and we have the Pepperell Community Media Access Group who so graciously brought it for us to try. So we'll see how this goes. This way we can have live meetings at the time that we have a virtual meeting. And people can participate who are at home on Zoom. We are asking that if you are not present, you mute your microphone, please. If we see the little yellow box, we know that you're not muted. So please make sure that you muted your microphone from home. So, all right. So moving on, chairman's additions or deletions. I have none. Do you have any?
Wow, that's pretty cool.
And Lisa to be muted.
Lisa, can you mute? Mary Ellen Jones, can you mute, please?
I'm on a phone and I don't know how to do that.
Okay.
*6, somebody said.
*6, try that.
*6.
Okay, you're muted. Thank you.
Yay. Okay, that worked. I'm going to remember that. *6. Any additions or deletions, Chaz or Joe? I have none.
I don't have any.
No, I don't have any.
Thank you. All right, public comment period. We asked the people that wanted to speak, notify the chair in advance. There was a sign-up sheet out on the table. So I didn't receive anything for public comment. Did either of you?
Well, I guess I'm gonna have a public comment.
Oh, you would like to have a public comment? Okay.
Well, I thought at our last meeting, we weren't gonna do that we had to have anybody sign in. We just, if we have a public comment period, people are gonna have the opportunity to speak. So I didn't know that. I know I didn't go along with it. I didn't think we were gonna have to have them write it in. If there's a public comment, we have a public comment. As long as we keep it respectful and to the point of what we're talking about, I thought that's how we were gonna go, but I don't know where this changed.
That
I would like to
was
understand
just
where it
something,
did change,
excuse
yes.
me,
I
but
do remember this conversation,
thank you.
and it was stated that that will not be how we will proceed.
Okay, so the next meeting, we won't do that. I just wanted to make sure we have a hard stop at 7 p.m. for an executive session tonight, and I just wanted to make sure that was the case. So.
I'm good with that one.
So as long as we
Okay.
have I think what we talked about before, which I think is appropriate, is that we have allotted 10 minutes for the selectmen's procedures. If there is public comment, then we need to be able to limit it to that 10-minute period. That's
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
People want to speak, want to ask us questions from the audience, we're going to listen, try to keep it to the point, keep it respectful, keep it on cue, and that's the way I thought, because I made it very clear that I've sat on that side, and it's very disheartening to see people sitting here say, you can't talk.
Okay.
I just, to
Well, I
me,
did, people can talk. I just wanted to know ahead of time.
So we could
For-
figure out what the time.
So we could figure out the
Yeah.
timeline.
Okay.
That was
I've
all.
always learned comments come up as part of the discussion.
Well, no, that's not exactly right.
It
Comments,
holds true to meetings. in
No,
open discussions.
I'm not going to argue that, but I will say that there is a public comment period in the meeting. Open meeting law does not even,
I
and this is
understand
why
this.
what Joe's talking about in past years, past boards disallowed any comment whatsoever. We have been very good about allowing or asking for people who we knew had
Direct knowledge. to the
direct
topic.
knowledge of a topic to join in. But a public comment period is just that. You make your comment and you're done. It's not chairman's additions and deletions is here at the table. Public comment is otherwise. But comments do not come as part of the discussion other than at town meeting. The comments that come as part of the discussion on a motion in a meeting like this is amongst the board. And that
I
holds
could
for
have
all
phrased
boards.
it differently, but in the meetings that I've run, you always reach out to the people to ask, is there any comments in the audience on what was just discussed? It's a courtesy from you to the people attending these meetings.
Is that your comment for today then?
It's a brief point of view. How's that?
That's good. That works. All right, so I am moving on to 1.6, review the minutes. I don't have June 21st or June 2nd ready yet. They're in progress, but June 25th is complete. So were there any comments on that?
I didn't have any, and I mean,
I just have one, if we could do, we don't necessarily have to do it on this, but in the future, when we do call meetings to order for roll call, put the name and the initials afterwards, and then we just need to put the initials when, instead of referencing the
It
name,
was quicker for me
to do the
to
name.
type your name. The only person I would put initials in would be for me.
Yeah.
Because it's, you know, it's just quicker that way, for me. So do you prefer initials?
That's just how we've done it on the planning board and the housing authority, so.
I can change that. I don't mind doing that. It won't be in the 21st. It'll
Right.
still be names.
No, that's okay.
But for the second, I'm short enough along in the thing that I could do that.
I also, on the top, it should say minutes instead of agenda on your title page, on your title.
I put it on the name of the file, but not on the title page.
Must be only two of them.
What about, I have a question for you. What about how I did the motions?
That's okay.
The moved and seconded?
Yep, that's okay.
Okay. Because I wasn't sure about that. And then at the bottom, should I say that it was by me? You know, submitted by.
Yeah.
Okay.
Whoever did them, yes.
All right. Anything else?
Nope.
I didn't, I was brief.
I know. And they need to be, but I was used to looking at seeing initials as you go through, so you know who did what, especially for the votes and that kind of stuff.
Okay, so if I do initials, what are your initials?
CSD.
No dash. Well, that makes it quicker because it was 4 keystrokes either way.
just
Okay.
JS will do just fine for me, thank you.
Okay, and I'll be BK, so I'll do initials.
Sounds like a plan.
Not a problem. All right,
So I make a motion that we accept the minutes for June 25th, 2021 with the amendments as stated.
Second,
all those in favor?
Joe Shank, yes.
Yes.
Veronica Cal, yes.
Who do you want to say on name, right? 'Cause we're in person.
Oh, we're in person, that's right.
You're Zoom, but that's fine. Okay.
Okay. We don't have to discuss it here, but we should figure out the way that where we're gonna put, in what file, put the minutes before they're approved and where we put it after. So I will change the top. And that's probably the only thing that gets changed in this set. So I'll make that change and then I'll put the doc
You can put it in the minutes file.
in
and
the
then
minutes file, and then you'll move it into.
I'll put a PDF and I'll put it into the approved.
Yeah, because that's where I go to the minutes and read them out of there.
Yeah.
All right.
And then it'll post right from there to the website.
Sounds good. I'm hoping to have minutes pretty close to every meeting, maybe even on working meeting. We'll see as I get them done. All right, moving on to, we have no appointments and hearings with groups. Moving on to appointments of officials and personnel, votes may be taken. So we're starting with the appointment of conservation commissioners.
Madam Chair, I've reviewed the Conservation Commission's appointments and all vacancies, volunteer forms and or board recommendations have been submitted to the Board of Selectmen.
Thank you. So we have, there are. Lost it in the shuffle of papers. There are, here it is. 3 appointments to the 3 openings on the Conservation Commission. There are 2 3-year terms and 1 1-year term as far as openings go right now. 2 3-year terms. Did I say 3? 2 3-year terms and 1 1-year term. But when I wrote the agenda, I put them all down for 3-year terms. So
Who would be the 1-year term?
I don't
Chose
know.
3 for each name.
I don't know. So if you'd like to speak, please be recognized by the chair. All right, so first, is there, we have an appointment of James Delorean to the Conservation Commission. It's for a 3-year term here.
So we need to determine what's going to be the 1 year and what's going to be the 3-year.
Well, we have 4 people here.
Would we do that during discussion?
We can do it during discussion.
So,
Good.
so we have 3 positions open, but yet we have 4 here.
That is correct. And I put them in order of how they came in. to
Okay,
me,
all right,
the board. So,
all right.
and I just did them all for 3 years because there was no other way to do it.
How, and I don't know this, maybe somebody will enlighten me, but what is the staggered appointments for the conservation? How does that? Okay.
The town clerk brought me that.
Is everybody here that is on the Conservation Commission?
For the appointment?
Yes.
I believe so.
But so these, I get it, they end, but where do we start with the 1 year?
Everybody's here.
John Hussey's on.
There he is.
You have to
behind
turn
me.
around.
Who did you want?
And this was the resignation. Don't resign.
So then, do we just say, okay, we're gonna do one of these people for 1 year and then go down and put the other 2 or 3, whatever we do for 3 years?
Yeah,
That would
let's
work.
start at the top and
Then
work our way
let's go
through.
for it. Then. Go ahead. I got it.
So I move to appoint James Delorean to the Conservation Commission for a 3-year term effective July 1st, 2021 and ending June 30th, 2024.
All right, do we need a second on that?
Absolutely.
Okay, I second that.
I'd like to make an amendment to the motion to appoint James Delorean to the Conservation Commission for a 1-year term ending June 30th, 2022. Is there a second?
Madam Chair, I have my hand raised.
So, yeah.
It's Karen Hill, I'm sorry. Boo.
There's a motion on the floor.
I have my hand raised.
Thank you.
We're trying to figure out something before we take questions.
Well, I
Chaz,
think
what's your opinion?
There's an
Yes.
amendment, a motion. Is there a second?
I
What
could
I
answer
thought-
the question, is my point.
We're not, this is a board meeting, so we're
I-
not taking questions on it right now, Karen. We're trying to discuss the topic. I thought we would ask if the individual that is put before us, if they're going to do a 3-year or one. That's what I thought we were going to do.
Okay,
So, right now, the motion on the floor is, we did the 3-year, I second. You want to amend it to a
but there is no
1-year,
second.
no second.
So we're back to 3 years.
So can we open up and ask Mr. Delorean, is he looking to do 3 years? He wants to be 1 year?
Right.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
I mean, I think he might say, hey, after 1 year, I'm done, I'm sick of it. Or you might say, I want to be on for 3 years.
Right.
Made a motion to put it that way. So I guess Mr. Delorean will ask you that question. What's your thoughts?
Is it okay to speak?
Yes, it is.
Thank you. I do want to be on the Conservation Commission. If it's 1 year, 2 year, 10 years, it makes no difference. My concept of conservation is my community, my environment, taking care of the people that need the information and need to move through a lot of different processes. That's the reason I'm here, and I've been doing conservation for 15 years.
So.
And
the
my,
quest-
hang on, I've been trying not to interrupt you,
So-
Madam Chair, so can I just proceed?
The
through
the
into
question
this?
is 1 year
Yes,
or
ma'am.
3 year, which would you prefer?
Well, it
There's a
sounds like it
motion on
doesn't
the
matter.
floor for a 3-year. So,
I'm comfortable with 3 years, as long as my select people are comfortable with me being on it for 3 years.
Okay.
Fair enough?
Fair enough. All right, any further discussion? All those in favor?
Joe Shank, yes.
Chaz Sexton Duranian, yes.
Veronica Cal, no. You're on. Congratulations.
Thank you, Mr. Delorean.
Thank you,
All
Mr.
right.
Duranian and Joe and Veronica, I guess I'm up in the air. And if I may be so bold, this do at one point in time, and could you address it now? Why you
We
do
are
not
moving
feel as though
on.
you don't want
We
me on
can
the
talk
commission?
offline. We can talk
I
offline.
would prefer it to be in public on, so when we have that moment in time, I'd like to have it. Thank you.
Right.
All right, we have a motion to appoint John Hussey to the Conservation Commission for a 3-year term ending June 30th, 2024.
I move to appoint John Hussey to the Conservation Commission for a 3-year term effective July 1st, 2021 and ending June 30th, 2024.
Is there a second? I'll second. All those in favor? All those opposed?
No.
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 He is a volunteer.
Moving on. Next, motion to appoint James Gates to the Conservation Commission for a 3-year term ending June 30th, 2024.
I move to appoint James Gates to the Conservation Commission for a 3-year term effective July 1st, 2021 and ending June 30th, 2024.
Is there a second?
Second.
Madam Chair,
The question is on the motion
yes.
of appointing James Gates for a 3-year
No,
term.
John Hussey, I had my hand up and you didn't acknowledge me. Why was,
Thank you. We have a motion on the floor. Is there
First of all,
discussion?
Madam Chair, I think town hall's locked, so can we just pause this? I'm gonna go check downstairs. People can't get into that meeting.
Oh, sure. Okay. So we are on a
We should
break.
not have, no conversation.
No conversation. I'm sorry. We're on a break. Please order.
Excuse me, someone named Anonymous wants to enter the meeting, and I was wondering if I should let that person in.
No,
No.
that's not their choice, that's ours as a corporation.
Thank you.
Well, how does that work?
We're a private corporation and we're conducting the meeting. We have the choice to either exclude or include people. If you're gonna come in as anonymous, no. This is a public meeting, you need to identify yourself.
Or sign in?
Or sign
If you
in,
wait.
whatever, but anonymous doesn't count.
Okay.
If you can't identify the person, are you letting in someone who's a Zoom bomber? You know,
So, yeah,
you can, instead of anonymous, you could put, you know, Joe Smith or whatever, and just so you have a name.
We had a planning board meeting and somebody went in and started showing pictures that were not,
Appropriate.
yeah.
almost like a virus moment.
All right, are we done with the
Okay.
door?
Yes, I have it.
Okay. I got
Okay, all right. All right, so the door is taken care of, so people can join. All right, we have a motion on the floor to appoint James Gates to a 3-year term.
Is James Gates here?
Yes.
Would it be for a 1-year term or a 3-year term?
I'm full with 3-year.
So my motion stands.
Okay,
Second,
all those in favor?
Joe Shank, yes.
Veronica Cal, yes.
Chad Sexton Duranian, yes.
All right, welcome, James. And so do we have a motion? We have a 1-year term remaining.
I move to appoint Joan Savoy to the Conservation Commission for a 1-year term effective July 1st, 2021 and ending June 30th, 2024, providing she is accepting a 1-year term. She is.
Second,
All right, all those in favor?
That's the amended one. The 1 year is Jones.
Yes.
The amendment. Thank
That's
you.
correct.
Okay. Seemed to be. a
so we
little
just did
confusion.
2 years, yourself, Mr. Gates, and Mr. Savoy.
So it's
1 year.
3, 3, 3, and 1 for John.
3, 3.
And one, and did we vote?
Yes, no.
No.
Yeah. Joe Shank, yes.
Chad Sexton Duranian, yes.
Veronica Cal, yes.
Yes, thank you very much.
Thank you.
You guys gotta get sworn in, correct?
Yes, you will get appointment letters and you will be sworn in. So that's for everybody. That's to get appointment letters. So before you can attend a meeting, you do need to be sworn in.
So with the appointments, James and Mrs. Savoy had the ability to express why they want to come aboard with conservation. Were they allowed to be able to express their interests in?
We are
They
not
wrote it down.
requiring that. We are
Okay.
assuming that because we received an interest form, that they are interested in being on the commission. I don't
You,
think
you
they
were a
would.
reappointment. They had filled out volunteer
Volunteer
forms
forms.
and they put their reasons and stated exactly why
Why they
to be.
wanted to be here.
I thank you for allowing me to be.
All right, so we're moving, you're welcome. We're moving on to the next appointments of recreation commissioners.
Madam Chair, I have reviewed in the Recreation Commission's appointments and all vacancies, volunteer forms and or board recommendations have been submitted to the Board of Selectmen.
Thank you.
First appointment is I move to appoint Elizabeth Serene to the Recreation Commission for a term effective June 29th, 2021 and ending April 2022.
And is there a second?
Second.
I just want to note on these appointments that say expiring April 2022, it would be at the town election. And we
That's why I
we
didn't
didn't
put
want
a
it,
date.
that's why we didn't put a date.
Yeah.
So, and it's not necessarily at the end of April and we couldn't be certain of the dates. So we just left it.
That's
Um, So I did consult with Catherine. So, all those in favor of appointing Elizabeth Serene,
Joe Shank, yes.
Chad Sexton Duranian, yes.
Veronica Cal, yes. Welcome, Elizabeth, to the Recreation Commission.
I think she's
I
up
think she's
there.
there. Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
You're welcome. Thank you.
The appointment of Elizabeth Sears to the Recreation Commission. Is there a motion?
I move to appoint Elizabeth Sears to the Recreation Commission for a term effective June 29th, 2021, and ending April 2022.
Second,
All those in favor?
Joe Shank, yes.
Chad Sexton Duranian, yes.
Veronica Cal, yes. So welcome Elizabeth Sears to the Recreation Commission.
Welcome.
Thank you very much.
Welcome.
Welcome aboard.
All right, appointment of library trustees. Is there a motion?
Madam Chair, I have reviewed the trustees of the library appointment, and all vacancies, volunteer forms, and/or board recommendations have been submitted to the Board of Selectmen. I move to appoint Emily Holmes as a library trustee for a 3-year term effective July 1st, 2021, and ending June 30th, 2024.
Second,
All those in favor?
Joe Shank, yes.
Chad Sexton Duranian, yes.
Veronica Cal, yes.
Welcome aboard,
Welcome aboard.
Welcome Emily.
Emily. Welcome to see you.
All right, the next are appointments to the Historic District Commission.
Madam Chair, I've reviewed the Historic District Commission's appointments and all vacancies, volunteer forms, and/or board recommendations have been submitted to the Board of Selectmen. I move to appoint Eno Kauppi to the Historic District Commission for a 3-year term effective July 1st, 2021, and ending June 30th, 2024.
Second,
All those in favor?
Joe Shank, yes.
Chad Sexton Duranian, yes.
Veronica Cal, yes. Is there a motion for Robert Thompson?
I move to appoint Robert Thompson to the Historic District Commission for a 3-year term effective July 1st, 2021, and ending June 30th, 2024.
Second,
All those in favor?
Joe Shank, yes.
Chad Sexton Duranian, yes.
Veronica Cal, yes. Last motion for the Historic District Commission.
I move to appoint Susan Birkin to the Historic District Commission for a 3-year term effective July 1st, 2021, and ending June 30th, 2024.
Second,
All those in favor?
Joe Shank, yes.
Chad Sexton Duranian, yes.
Veronica Cal, yes. All right, 3.5, appointment of cultural council positions.
Madam Chair, I've reviewed the Cultural Council's appointments, and all vacancies, volunteer forms, and/or board recommendations have been submitted to the Board of Selectmen. Therefore, I move to appoint Alice Struthers to the Cultural Council for a 3-year term effective July 1st, 2021, and ending June 30th, 2024.
Second,
All those in favor?
Joe Shank, yes.
Chad Sexton Duranian, yes.
Veronica Cal, yes. All right, 3.6, appointment of meeting hall gallery committee.
Madam Chair, I reviewed the meeting hall gallery committee's appointments, and all vacancies, volunteer forms, and/or board recommendations have been submitted to the Board of Selectmen. Therefore, I move to appoint Alice Struthers to the meeting hall gallery committee for a 3-year term effective July 1st, 2021, and ending June 30th, 2024.
Second,
All those in favor?
Joe Shank, yes.
Chad Sexton Duranian, yes.
Veronica Cal,
Sorry.
yes.
Reading.
Appointment of housing authority. I think I missed editing this one. I have an actual date on there for housing authority.
I have,
Isn't that an elected position?
yes, but it would be effective today during the appointment to April of 2022.
22, okay.
Madam Chair, I've reviewed the Towns and Housing Authority's appointments, and all vacancies, volunteer forms, and/or board recommendations have been submitted to the Board of Selectmen. Therefore, I move to appoint Laura Schifrin to the Towns and Housing Authority for a term effective June 29th, 2021, and ending April 2022.
Second,
All those in favor?
Joe Shank, yes.
Chad Sexton Duranian abstain.
Veronica Cal, yes. All right, moving on to the appointment of the Town Properties Committee.
Congratulations, Laura.
Yes, I didn't say congratulations to everybody else, did I?
Can Steve Sheldon? No. Has he not moved?
We removed that one. You don't have the updated.
Oh, I
list.
don't, huh? Oh, bad.
I met with the town clerk yesterday, and apparently a voter registration change had come in,
Mhm.
and so we
Okay.
removed that one.
All right, perfect.
So sorry, I revised, I guess, early, yesterday afternoon,
All right.
Yes.
after speaking with.
I thought I grabbed them.
Okay,
That's okay. All good. Sorry about that, Monica.
that's all right.
When I went over, just so you know, Joe, the procedure, I went over all of I looked at what the town clerk had, I looked at volunteer forms, I looked at the reappointment forms to make sure that everything was collected before we did the appointment.
All right.
I pretty much had everything in SharePoint. I don't think I took out Steve's form from SharePoint. I probably didn't.
I just didn't, it wasn't on the final list, so
Right.
I didn't
Okay.
look at it.
All right, are we ready for a motion?
3.8.
3.8, Town Properties Committee, is there a motion?
Madam Chair, I've reviewed the Town Properties Committee appointments and all vacancies, volunteer forms and/or board recommendations and have been submitted to the Board of Selectmen. Therefore, I move to appoint Laura Schifrin to the Town Properties Committee as the Planning Board's representative for a term ending March 31st, 2022.
Is there a second?
Second,
All those in favor?
Joe Shank, yes.
Chaz Sexton Duranian, yes.
Veronica Cal, yes.
I move to appoint Julie Byers to the Town Properties Committee as a general member for a term ending March 31st, 2022.
Second,
All those in favor?
Joe Shank, yes.
Chaz Sexton Duranian, yes.
Veronica Cal, yes.
I move to appoint Vicky Tidman to the Town Properties Committee as the Board of Assessors representative for a term ending March 31st, 2022.
Second,
That discussion, why March 31st?
That's the last day of March.
The form that came in had hers for April 30th.
Was it?
And I asked about that, and I was told it was based on when they were appointed, when they would be removed, like.
You sure it doesn't have anything to do with the bylaws?
No.
Doesn't?
Well, let's do it through March.
Okay.
That's when everybody else is, so, all right,
So the motion stands?
the motion stands.
and second,
All right, all those in favor?
Joe Shank, yes.
Chaz Sexton Duranian, yes.
Veronica Cal, yes, and I'll look that up.
Yeah, I don't know why I put March 31st, but there has to be some kind of reason for me to put it. So,
Right,
Are you sure?
all right, hers was the only form that came in that had the April date on it.
Yes. But it had something to do with the bylaw.
Okay,
I
we're good
can't,
to
I
go
can't
then.
tell you exactly what it is. I mean,
All right.
If we did something wrong, I'm sure somebody will let us know. They'll let us know soon enough.
Okay, go ahead.
I move to appoint Kevin Smith to the Town Properties Committee as a general member for a term ending March 31st, 2022.
Is there a second?
Second,
All those in favor?
Joe Shank, yes.
Chaz Sexton Duranian, yes.
Veronica Cal, yes. All right, now we have the appointment of, so thank you, everyone, and thank you for everybody that's volunteered. We have the appointments for the fire EMS personnel for a one-year term effective July 1st, 2021 to June 30th, 2022. Let's do full-time personnel
Okay. Move to appoint the following list of Townsend Fire EMS personnel for a one-year term effective July 1st, 2021 to June 30th, 2022, full-time personnel, right?
Yes.
Mark Boynton, Chief, Michael Grimley, Operations Captain, Scott Martin, Operations Captain. Ron-
Add the EMT part of it too.
Oh, EMT. right,
Okay,
so
Michael
the-
Grimley, Operations Captain, EMT. Scott Martin, Operations Captain, EMT.
P with paramedic and B is basic.
Basic. So the B and the P means something.
The B and the P,
So
so
I
you don't
didn't
have
write
it
any
on
of that
yours,
down.
but so basic and paramedic.
Okay, because I can't really see that. so
It's
I wanted
tiny.
to type
You're
it.
right.
It's tiny, but we have to do that because one's a paramedic and one's a basic EMT.
So
So
that,
we have to make sure we,
no, I have.
so
No, I understand, it's just not being able
It's
to see
teeny
it
tiny.
is
There's a reason for that, but go ahead.
so much for being prepared. Where was I? Scott Martin,
Martin's
Operations Captain, EMTP. Ronald Petruzzi, firefighter, paramedic. Drew Brizard, firefighter, paramedic. Thomas Hall, firefighter, paramedic. And Jeffrey Cormier, firefighter, paramedic.
second,
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Trushank, yes.
Chad Sexton Duranian, yes.
Veronica Cal, yes.
Uh,
All right, for a motion for on-call per diem personnel, and that's a very long list. And there are,
You want to just,
I
I think we need to say it,
I think we
read
need
them
to.
down.
You're good?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
I move to appoint the following list of Townsend Fire EMS personnel for a one-year term effective July 1st, 2021 to June 30th, 2022. These are on-call per diem personnel.
Second,
And you
Um,
need to read, yeah.
Yep, Shane Arujo, firefighter EMT-B. Jeffrey Beal, firefighter EMT-B. Brenton Bourne, firefighter paramedic. Richard Carlson, lieutenant. Nicole Carter, child passenger safety technician. Christopher Cotter, paramedic. Destiny Deshane, EMT-B. William Elliott, deputy chief. Jessica Fellows, EMT.
B,
MTB.
EMT-B. Greg Galeota, firefighter, EMT-B.
B,
Sam Galeota, firefighter. Nicholas Gerard, firefighter. Randy Gerard, firefighter. Andrew Gordon, paramedic. Brian Harkins, firefighter, paramedic. Robert Hayes, paramedic. Robert Henderson, firefighter, paramedic. David Hoffman, firefighter. Brett King, captain. Jonathan Kenny, lieutenant, EMT. P. Chris Klein, lieutenant,
EMTB,
EMTB. Brennan Lawrence, firefighter, EMTB.
B,
Michael McGregor, firefighter, paramedic. Roberto Maldonado, firefighter. Michael Marchand, firefighter. Derek Maskalenko, firefighter, EMTB. Austin Mathis, firefighter. Brian Mayer, captain, EMTB.
B,
Michael Meadows, firefighter, EMTB.
B,
Wade Mazur-Moore, paramedic. Eric Medika, firefighter, paramedic. Jonathan Moore, firefighter. Stephen Mangelli, firefighter. Benjamin Namera, firefighter, paramedic. Leon Namera, firefighter, EMTB. James Norrington, firefighter. Everett Olson, firefighter, paramedic. Sean Ormiston, paramedic. Colton Paladiu, firefighter. Kevin Pena, firefighter EMT B. Andrew Perry, firefighter paramedic. David Powell, mechanic. Gregory Richardson, firefighter paramedic. Hannah Rigney, firefighter. Patrick Ring, paramedic. Heidi Roy, paramedic. Andrew Siemens, firefighter paramedic. Andrew Shepard, firefighter. Gary Shepard, deputy chief. Benjamin Simons, lieutenant EMT P. Michael Sedano, firefighter. Thomas Stepney, mechanic. Nicholas Stepney, mechanic. David Stevens, firefighter. John Toomey, firefighter paramedic. Michael Verosco, firefighter EMT B.
Second.
Any discussion?
No,
All those in favor?
Larry, read that?
no, I don't.
So shake, yes.
Joseph Cinderanian, yes.
Veronica
missed
Cal,
one.
yes.
I know I didn't because I.
All right, and the move to appoint volunteer personnel.
I move to appoint the following list of Townsend Fire EMS personnel for a one-year term effective July 1st, 2021 to June 30th, 22, volunteer positions. Shayna Appel, chaplain. Brian Borbitzman, auxiliary. Eric Fellows, photographer.
Second.
All those in favor?
So Shank, yes.
Joseph Cinderanian, yes.
Veronica Cal, yes.
There's smoke on here, people.
All right, there was a.
And I apologize if I mispronounced anybody's name.
You did a pretty good job with that many
Welcome,
names.
welcome, everybody. Congratulations. I don't think it's really a welcome, it's more of a congratulations.
Congratulations, I
Everybody's
know.
All right, so the appointments, I called it 3.91 because if I made it 3.10, it went to the top because it was equivalent to 3.1. So anyway, so
I have a question on this. Do you want to do the motion and then discussion, or?
let's do the motion and then discussion.
And part of the comment would be how to word the motion. So I can, and we can amend it. Is that how you want to do it?
Yes.
I move to appoint William Martin as a constable for the town of Townsend for a one-year term ending June 30th, 2022.
Is there a second?
Second.
All right, discussion.
This is something that I did a lot of research with, and I know that town council still has, he's still looking into.
Well, we discussed this though, a couple meetings ago.
I understand that, and that's why I want to amend the motion that was put in the agenda.
Okay.
All right. With that discussion, I believe that we should move to appoint William Martin. This would be an amended motion, I guess I would say, since that to amend the motion to say, instead of for just a one-year term, say until the town gets a more definite understanding of the new police reform laws and advised by town council, or for a one-year term.
So what does that mean? I mean, until we are advised by council or for a one-year term. So we're looking at a maximum of a one-year term. In
Yes.
other words, if council comes back and
Yes.
says, well, I know that this is being looked at in the legislature.
Well, it's been voted on December 31st, I want to say, no, it went into effect on December 31st. But there are parts of the law that don't go into effect until certain timeframes. And that's what council is looking at.
Oh, then I would,
I think.
See, my concern is this, if we appoint somebody for a position for a year, and because of the legislature, they change the job description, for lack of a better term, would that person still be interested in doing that position? That's my only concern.
well, we do have others that are appointed as constables. I believe we have 4, including this reappointment.
Mhm.
And typically it's been for a 3-year term. I
Correct.
believe.
Well, this, according to the Mass General laws, we can appoint up to 3 years.
And that's, I believe, what we've done here in town too.
Historically,
And so
correct.
this would affect others as well,
Correct,
if that were the case.
correct.
So I thought that we were going to appoint for a 1-year term
Mhm.
and then see what changes, because in a year, we're going to have at
2
least,
more,
yeah, is it 2 more? I knew it was at least 1 more.
2 more.
It would be up. And so it would, whatever changes were made would affect those 2 as well.
Okay,
So-
so if the board's comfortable with 1 year, I'm comfortable with 1 year, but I wanted to give an option because it is something that's still under advisement with council.
I thought the council had advised to appoint for 1 year.
Well, yeah, it was a
But
suggestion.
if the law changed anyway, and we have constables out there and it's a change, we'd have to come back in front of the board and we'd have to make a decision how we do it anyway. So I'll just
It's,
appoint them for the 1 year and then the law changes and they say, well, constables are no longer gonna be constables, they're gonna have a different job description, then we have to deal with that.
Right.
But we do need constables in the community for sure.
Right, but I think the argument is that as it stands, constables are not part of the police department.
That is correct.
With this new police reform, I'm not really sure if that's gonna be the case or not.
Right, that
I
is
think, I
correct.
think they may,
Be part of it.
right,
Mhm.
so,
But then we'll have to readdress that and we'll have to deal with the police chief on that, bring him in, bring him, say how we're gonna move forward on this. That's
Either
my
that-
opinion.
Or we don't appoint.
No, I think we need to appoint, I really do. Stuff in legislation, it's there, it could take 6 months, it could take 5 years,
Right.
you know, so.
where it is right now, yeah.
Well, that's
you're
what I'm
absolutely
saying,
right.
so I think we need to keep our bases covered. Keep Mr. Martin, he's been doing it many, many years, do the 1 year, and let's just, I think our last conversation, the police chief was checking into that and was gonna kind of get back to us.
Mhm.
We didn't appoint a new one, because there was a new person trying to come on, but we put that on hold, but the ones that we have, I think we need to reappoint until we get some concrete evidence from somewhere, either the police chief or legislation that we have to change it.
Okay, and I want to be very clear, it has nothing to do with the
The
person here, it
right.
just had to do
Right.
with the law behind it. So
Right, yeah.
I have no,
Yeah.
I have no issues with the individual, I'm just saying that I want to make sure that we're doing the right thing, that if it does change, it's not going to be like a month or 2 months down the road.
Well, I think if that new police reform comes involved, we're gonna be doing a lot of changing on a lot of things.
Yeah.
So this would just be one more thing that we'll add to the table.
Okay, then Madam Chair, my motion stands.
So any further discussion?
No,
All right, all those in favor?
Joe Shank, yes.
Chad Sexton Durant, yes.
Veronica Cal, yes. All right. Moving on to section 5, work session. So town administration updates and reports. I did add a few things in here. The first one is Cory checks management. So we're going to be, well, I did start the process today of updating the Cory check list for
Right.
Townsend.
Who
We
can do
had,
them, who can't?
we had 2 people, neither of whom are available now. So one is no longer an employee, so I have them removed.
Okay,
And the other is on leave currently. So we'll be adding I would suggest whomever we did the internal posting for temporary help, so this kind of goes into the second one.
Mhm.
You know, I would suggest adding that person to the Cory list.
Now, is that that's just a, take a course and get approved?
It's not, it's an online,
Right, that's what I mean.
Yeah.
So it's just a
Yeah.
certification and that's it?
and that is it.
So the position then would be contingent upon taking that.
Right, it
Yeah.
would be it's a 24-hour. If you read, check it off, and you have 24 hours from the point that your name is put in to accept the responsibility.
Okay.
So, so I just wanted to check that out before I started the process with the state.
Yeah, I'm good with that.
Okay.
All right,
I mean, definitely take that one person's no longer an
that
employee, get
has
that
already
off.
been done, yeah,
And then the other one that's unavailable at this time. I mean,
remains on.
Yeah,
Remains on.
absolutely.
So, but we do need 2 people here at Town Hall that can perform those duties.
Yeah.
Correct.
So there you go.
Yeah.
All right, I'm good with that.
All right,
Perfect.
interim and temporary positions report.
Is that what I've been recusing myself from? That where we're going on that one?
No, I'm talking more about for the interim TA.
Okay, perfect.
I don't have anything else to report on the temporary position right now.
No, I have an interview tomorrow.
Okay,
And I've
perfect.
done mine, so. On the committee that we're setting up, I have 2 definites.
Good.
From 2 of the unions. I'm waiting to hear back from 3 of the unions. And we are going to need to have a lottery for the, we have 2 people for the
Non-union.
non-union.
Right.
So
I see
we'll
that.
have to have a lottery.
I had a quite lengthy conversation last night with Sheila Harrington on many fronts. One of them is this, and there's a name that I would like to be able to give you after the meeting
Okay,
that she would like you to send a letter to.
okay, and I have a person that I would like to as well. So we'll get that there.
That's okay, that I can give her the name of what Sheila gave me.
All right.
And not just to send a letter out to see if they're interested.
Correct.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I'm in favor of
Well,
that.
they expressed interest to her
Yeah.
and she,
Well, perfect.
Okay, that's good. All right.
And that's for the interim, right?
yes.
That
And
is
then
for
once
the-
we can get that ground covered, then we'll move on to the bigger fish.
Yep.
All right.
All right, that's all I have on that. CARES Act and ARPA funding. We're good with ARPA for now. You know, that's taken care of, so the town will be in the pipeline to receive those funds.
Okay.
For CARES Act, I'm trying to determine how that works. So I have a stack of paper right here, which I scanned before the meeting, and I'm going to be emailing to both of you
Okay.
to take a look at. So it's kind of like homework on,
Can you just run it through the
Okay.
printer up, this printer out there and just give us
oh,
copies?
you want hard copy? Yeah, before you leave today.
Right.
Right here.
Easier?
There should be a 1-pager. Yeah, that would be great.
Just have your secretary take care
That
of that.
way, yeah. I should have done a hard copy because you guys.
What have you been
are here.
doing all
I
day?
scanned it, yeah, really. I scanned it to email it, but if you want hard copy, you can do that.
That's probably
So
easier
that's
for
good.
you.
Yeah,
And-
easier for me.
We will need, this will be on Monday, Wednesday, Friday talks. For that, because we have to figure out what we can put in for still and what we need to stop.
Correct. Do we have, or are we close to an accounting of what was already spent?
No, I can ask for that tomorrow from the accountants.
Because I would
So
like to
that,
be able to.
and I will scan that and send it to you.
Okay, that
Right.
is something that I think,
We need to see the money.
yeah,
Finances, end of year notes, municipal relief transfers are in progress. I did give everything that we had already approved and signed to the FinCom. And I know that the treasurers came back from FinCom to sign. I haven't seen anything else come back from FinCom to sign, but it could have gone directly to the accountants because our signatures were already on it.
my concern is that if I can get notification in regards to the highway computer and monitor, so that I can approve that.
That is an expenditure thing, and we signed off on that already.
Right, so I can approve it?
Yes, you can approve, yes, I see what you're saying,
Yeah.
for Guardian,
Yeah.
yes. we already signed off on that, and I think that's already downstairs.
Okay.
I'll check on the counter to see if it
I
didn't
didn't
make
see
it
it,
down
yeah.
there, but I'm pretty sure that went downstairs yesterday.
I just need to get that approved and in because because of the computer chip shortage and all that. We
Right.
want to get that in as soon as possible,
Okay,
because his computer's kind of limping along.
what I have not seen yet, is the FinCom reserve transfer for the fire department.
I haven't seen
But
any
that
of that.
happened while we were still, that happened in
Which one are we talking about now?
the 32K.
All right, is that the one that the fire, Mr. Shepherd
Yes,
went
Took to the
for
FinCom.
repairs for vehicles?
right.
Madam Chairman?
Yes, is that
Veronica, Andrea,
Andrea? Yes.
Andrea. The fire department transfer went through, was processed, but not printed onto the monthly report. I can send you the email that I got from the accountant's office regarding that if you would like.
Yes, that would be great, because I don't know the status on that.
All right,
Um,
and the other transfers, all the reserve are municipal transfers. When the finance committee met on Thursday, we signed them all.
All
And,
of
and,
those you have.
and sent them forward. The three that were for the treasurer went to you. The other two should have gone just directly to the accountant.
Okay, did they already have our signatures on them?
Yes,
Okay, that's what I thought. So I took those, so that should be taken care of. I do have, there's one more, the 1800 for the boarding up of Warren Road that we were gonna request. That should be coming to you. And then the other question is, did you, the FinCom, receive invoices from the fire department for the repairs that were done? Who would receive those invoices?
we didn't ask for invoices. They said they needed the money. He explained it to us. But at the point he explained it to us, so a lot of the work had not been done yet. They needed the money to do the work.
Okay, all right. So those would come back as,
Those should be as the money is spent, it should be denoted on the accountant's ledger.
okay, so it should be submitted as the work is done
Yes.
for payment. Okay. All right,
7 o'clock.
all right.
we're almost done now. Could we?
Yeah, let's see if we can. All right, thank you, Andrea.
Thanks, Andrea.
That's all I had on that. The unregistered vehicles, this is quick. I didn't have a minute to write that letter today, but I will get it done and it'll be in
Yeah,
the
that's fine.
SharePoint. And the other one, the police department stipends and complete certifications and June 30th, that is all handled.
Yeah.
So we don't need to discuss that. Are there any reports from board liaisons?
I have one report. This is from Cemetery and the Parks Department. At the Cemetery and Parks meeting on June 16th, 2021, the Cemetery and Parks Commissioners voted the following to be effective July 1st, 2021. Raymond Boyles as chairman, John Barrett as vice chairman, and Albert Tubby Boucher is clerk.
Thank you.
Yeah, congratulations to them.
Announcements and communications, anything?
I just think today, just one thing, and give a little update on the wall that heals. You know, it did come through town today. It is being set up starting tomorrow. So any volunteers that can make it down to the high school, it's gonna be a very hot day, so they're hoping that they can rotate some of the volunteers and give people a break. But it was a great turnout, a lot of support from the town, the community, the people that were out on the streets, the young children, the seniors, with all the flags. It was very impressive driving through town. So I want to thank everybody for that.
I agree, and I just, Facebook blew up with pictures of Townsend and the wall going
Oh,
by.
good.
It was really well done. At my work, I had a bunch of people going out. We were at the fence waving, and it was nice.
Yeah,
It was
that's
really
great.
nice to see that, how the community came together for that.
And TCAM did film,
Yes,
so Hartley was out there, so we.
we'll be on Channel 9.
Not directly, we're going to have something for Channel 9 shortly, but we had about 6 or 7 camera people spread out all over
Right.
town.
More will be revealed.
You'll see more than we expect.
All right, so for next meetings, we have one scheduled for June 30th at 6:15. That's an executive session only. July 2nd at noon, that's our regular Monday, Wednesday, Friday. July 20th is our next regular meeting at 6 PM, and we will have Monday, Wednesday, Friday meetings as needed in July.
So now this Friday, the noon one, is that just gonna be something simple, or is that?
Right now, I have 2 things on it. One is the unregistered vehicles letter, and one is the appointment of an interim, if we are ready to do
Interim
that.
help,
Oh, temporary help,
temporary?
not
So I'm
interim,
gonna
but the
recuse
appointment
myself
of
from that
temporary.
anyway, so I will not jump into that meeting, if that's all that's gonna be there.
Yeah, those are the only 2
Yeah,
things
well,
I have.
that's
right
actually,
now.
that's okay with me.
Yeah, okay.
All
As
right,
long as
thank
we
you.
have a quorum, we're okay.
So I'll have that posted by noon tomorrow.
Okay.
All right, is there a motion to review and sign payroll and bills payable warrants out of session?
I move that we sign bills payable warrants out of session.
Second,
All those in favor?
Joe Shank, yes.
Chad Sexton Duranian, yes.
Veronica Cal, yes.
I didn't have that written down, so I was like, ooh.
You did good.
Thank you. All right, so our next is an executive session. So could we have a motion to,
Can we take a break before we go into that? Men's room?
Yeah, we can do that. We can do that. Do you wanna, how do you wanna do the motion?
How about if we go
Before
into
you
session?
run through the motion, can I get a 30-second question? It's very brief, very easy. I would like to find a time to sit with you people to reactivate the agriculture commission.
We can add that to an agenda.
Okay, so would I call, or is it okay to add to it now, so you know?
That I will put it
Is that,
on
The 20th?
Yeah, we can do
July
20.
20th.
Yeah.
We
July
can put it
20th.
on the
Send
July
something, send
20th,
it in
but
writing.
send me an email just so I don't forget. I typically go through my
So
notes here and-
was the agricultural committee formed?
yes,
It
I
was
had got it
approved, but I-
going originally, we started rolling pretty good. In between full-time UPS, doing conservation and some health issues. We fought, I couldn't keep.
I
up
don't
to
think it was funded for this year, but I don't think so
I think-
because it was.
All right, so those are some of
So-
the things I'd like to be able to
Is that an
inquire.
appointed board? Who would be the liaison is what I'm,
Agricultural is appointed, so that would be me.
so that would be you. So that would be your.
Yeah, so
your-
send me an email, Jeff, and we'll put that on the July 20th
20th.
agenda.
Okay, so.
All right, so
Tentatively, it's the 20th.
That's gonna be our next open board meeting.
but send me an email
Yes.
so I don't forget, just as a reminder. All right, so are we
Thank you.
gonna, you're welcome.
Can we just take a break right now and then
Well, we'll
come
go, we
back?
can go into session, into executive session, and then you can.
Take a
Yeah,
break?
let's have the motion, and we are not going to be returning to open session. So,
We gotta take that out.
So I move that the Board of Selectmen enter into a executive session pursuant to General Law, Chapter 30A, Section 21A3, to discuss strategy with respect to collective bargaining or litigation if an open meeting may have a detrimental effect on the bargaining or litigating position of the public body, and the chair so declares. This is in regards to Westcon Incorporated versus Town of Townsend Conservation Commission. We will not be returning to open session afterwards.
is there a second?
Second,
All those in favor?
Joe Shank, yes.
Chad Sexton Duranian, yes.
Veronica Cal, yes. Thank you all very much, and
So they're gonna get, we gotta now just oust all this stuff.
We're ready to go.
I'm going to the men's room. I'll be back.
I just left the Zoom and I'm leaving the meeting.
But they have to get that disconnected and all those disconnected.